What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm here to bring all of you, once again, another weekly anime review of one of my personal favorite anime series of this anime season of Winter 2016, Boku dake, or aka, from the English title, Erased. It feels good to know Kayo was saved. It makes me so happy to see how her story was kind of complete. And in a way, this was kind of the conclusion we all wanted. And you would think some series would usually end their said anime at this point and we'll wait for a season 2, but that's not the case with Boku dake. Now that we got this out of the way, and finally the first person that has been saved is Kayo, we can move on to the others that need to be saved and finding out who the killer is, the serial killer. So, Kayo, in this episode, I just want to take a moment to just say, I'm glad she managed to find a better home. It's kind of sad that she didn't get to stay with Satoru and them, but, I mean, I understand the point. That was kind of something that most likely could not happen, because, I mean, the authorities and stuff would look at, you know, Kayo and Satoru's mother and stuff and be like, you don't know them, or you don't know her that well, and she's only known you for a little bit. I just don't think it'd be right. And also, the grandmother coming in, she's more of a better option. Now, one thing I will say, we get a little bit of a backstory to Kayo's mother. Even though I know I'm supposed to feel guilt or sadness for the mother, the way she was treated, I don't. I really don't. I really don't feel, you know, like, pity. I don't pity her. I don't feel sad for her. I don't. Because I don't believe, even if you were beat or abused, you express that same raw emotions to your child. I just don't think it's right. I really don't. You're your own person. At the end of the day, you are your own person. You make your own decisions with your own life. You decide to do what you want to do. You have your own mind, you have your own voice, you have your own face, and you have your own daily functions you do as a human being. You are not controlled to move your hand. You're not controlled to move your body. She could have done what she wanted to do. She didn't have to put all her negativity and anger on her child Kayo, but she did anyways, regardless of how her past was. So I do not feel pity for the mother at all. I don't. I'm far from pity for that. I mean, I couldn't even feel emotions. I was with Kayo in that scene when she looked away from her mother and she didn't even care. I was exactly like Kayo in this episode. So that's my point on that scene. Regardless of the grandmother's tears to, you know, Kayo's mother's tears and feeling sad and all that, I know it's supposed to be emotional, but I wasn't. I don't feel sorry for him, and I'm with Kayo and her emotions at this moment. So, one scene that really worked up my emotions, though, was definitely the scene when Kayo was being taken away in, you know, the car, and you see Satoru, he's running down the road with the snow-covered road, and he's just running, and you see Kayo just looking back. And, you know, he's running after her because this is like the last time he's going to see Kayo for probably a very, very long time. I mean, when you kind of get taken away or you move towns, there's a very good likely possibility you're never going to see that person again. I mean, it's like this. Let's say you knew friends in middle school or, you know, elementary, even high school, and you change states or you move towns. There's a very good possibility if you don't have their number or know where they're going, you might not ever see them again. That's a very good possibility. So, in a way, that was very emotional. It's kind of like Satoru and Kayo said their goodbyes in that scene. Even though they didn't have any words, like they didn't really say anything, you know what that meant. It was like a goodbye, like farewell, hopefully we see each other again in the future. And I really do hope Kayo and Satoru do meet. I mean, it would be really cool once the series is done. Like, let's say once, you know, the anime is about to reach its conclusion and we find out who the killer is, you know, the killer's captured and, you know, everything is good. Hopefully everything ends up good and it's not a tragic ending, which, you know what, I'm not, you know, against a tragic ending. I like tragic endings, but still, if we have everything is good, said and done, and is good and all that, I'd like to see Kayo in the future get with Satoru, because that would be really cool if that happened. Like, you know, everything goes back to the present day, back into the future and stuff. Satoru wakes up, he realizes he's not in cuffs and chained, about to be taken to prison, and he sees Kayo, he meets with her, and they discuss things, and then they get together. That'd be really cool, because, you know, Kayo and Satoru, they're around the same age. Yeah, they're around the same age, and so once everything is fixed and Satoru goes back into the, the future, most likely he's going to be able to see Kayo around his age, and they most likely could get married or get together. It'd be really cool. I'd love that. It'd be a very beautiful romantic story, and as you all know, I love my romance, so seeing something like that would definitely put a smile on my face. So, enough of that. Let's talk about the other content besides Kayo. So, now that that's out of the way, we're moving on to the next goal, saving the others that were kidnapped and killed in the past, and this is the, the next main subject of the series, because now that the series is focused, I think, 9 episodes? Yeah, around 9 episodes on Kayo, we have the remaining episodes focusing on the others that were kidnapped, and honestly, is that enough time to actually cover the content? Now, I'm not a manga reader, and I need to ask the manga readers about this, but please, for the love of God, don't spoil. Please. I've been avoiding the comments because I've seen many Chibits message me, like, don't read the comments because there's a lot of spoilers, and I've been kind of scared to read the comments because, yeah, I just don't want to be spoiling the series. But I will say this, please, let me know, like, do you believe there is enough time? Like, I think this is going to be 12 to 13 episodes. This is the 9th episode I think I'm currently reviewing. I think this is the 9th. If not, it's the 8th. Is there really enough time with that, like, few episodes remaining to kind of cover the rest of the story? Like, how much content do we have left for the manga? Because I know the anime is going to be adapting the ending of the series before the manga. Even though the manga is going to have the same ending as the anime, I know the anime is going to pass the manga and animate the ending. And then the manga is going to come out later with the ending. Now, if I'm willing to bet it's going to be similar, yes and no. There's a possibility that the ending might feel a little bit rushed on the anime, and maybe the manga will do some clarification to a lot of details. That's a possibility, but I will save that for future discussion later on. So I gotta ask right now, manga readers, do you believe that there is enough episodes remaining to adapt the rest of the core content that the manga has remaining, but also go past it and conclude it with the information that we already know about the series, like, having to save all these others? Please let me know in the comments below. I'm very curious about that, because I just hope the series doesn't turn out to be rushed, because that would mean I would have to read the manga, because I'm very interested in the conclusion of the series. So, talking about other things, we also have it where Satoru kind of opens up a little bit about what he's currently been doing to his friends. For instance, how there's a killer after people trying to kidnap kids and kill them and do all sorts of things. You have it to where Satoru now is, trying to open up a little bit more and seek help. And there's a lot of mysteries kind of thrown out there, or questions, if I may say, that was thrown out there with this episode, because the teacher, I said it since day one. Since episode 1, I've said that the teacher just is the first person I would suspect to be the kidnapper. Because teacher, surrounded by kids, kidnappings, just that's what I would think of first. And then also the red eyes we got in the first episode. I pegged him as someone very suspicious, but in recent episodes he seemed to be a very kind and good and down-to-earth teacher from what we have seen. But I've seen a lot of series that, looks can be deceiving. The main thing is I wonder, with the way this episode was trying to depict the teacher, if that was, like, a way to fool us. Because I know there is writers that would try to do that. Make it so obvious, you're like, oh, there's no fucking way, but then it turns out to be the same person. Or, it's, trying to fool us, like, okay, it's not the person. Because the teacher had candy in his vehicle. And I think all of us, has heard the stories, like, if a person walks up to you as a kid and offers you candy, you need to run away from them or get away from them. Don't talk to strangers. And when a person walks up to you trying to offer you candy, you know for a fact that's suspicious. Most likely that dude's a pedo. And seeing the teacher have all this candy, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe, because it reeks of suspicion. Because that's what a pedo would have to offer a child, and we know there's going to be someone kidnapping children. And I wonder, since it's just so obvious, like, it's so fucking obvious, I wonder if the writer would really make it that obvious, or if it's meant to deceive us into believing it's someone else. I'm very curious about that, because the teacher goes along the lines of saying that he has, like, an addiction and all that, like, he just needs to have candy, and I don't know what to believe. I really don't. So, there's a lot of questions I have right now of where it can go, but so far, the only actual suspect we have is, the teacher. So, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I have no idea what to think, but the teacher's been very helpful, too. I mean, helped out Kayo, and if, Kayo was, I guess, going to be killed by this, killer, whoever, the teacher, let's say, I don't think the teacher would have helped out Kayo to begin with, now that I think about it, because, I mean, obviously you would try to fuck up the entire situation, try to kill Kayo in some other way, and blame it on someone else if it was the teacher. So I just don't know. I don't know what to believe, if it is or not. So I'm going to leave it up to speculation. I'll see. Maybe I can have some good discussion with you Chibits in the comments below about it and see, everybody's thoughts. But you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.